Yeah, we do. We get limited not by our imagination, but by what we're actually the equipment we're doing. We get all the modern. The trouble we have is this: we don't like to do the same thing twice, and that might, to the average ear, they might not hear a vast difference between Pyromania and Hysteria, and they may not hear a vast difference between Hysteria and Adrenalize. But to us, because we're so tuned in, having worked with Mutt, we do hear a big difference between certain things. And 4 years after the last album, Phil plugs up his regular guitar sound, and it's not quite as good as he thought it was, or he's got tired of it, and he wants something new. So we go out looking for different equipment, and a lot of the time we actually spend in the studio is just trying to get the right sounds for the parts. And that means if you're working on something you've never used before, you have to experiment for a long time to get it exactly how you think it wants to be. And sometimes you do it with a certain sound. If it's a guitar part, for example, you do it with a certain sound, and it sounds okay, but 3 weeks later, it's not right anymore. So you have to go back and do it again with a different sound. So that's we know what we want, but we don't always know how to get it. It's very strange. It's like anybody, really. You can know that something's not right in your life, but you don't really know how to put it right. But one day, something just clicks, and you go, hang on a minute, I know what's wrong. And you either go out and get divorced, or you go out and get married, or you have a kid, or you take up golf, or you stop drinking, or, in our case, it's like, you realise that there's an arrangement problem with a song, or there's the lyrics are useless, or it's in the wrong key, or just the guitar parts, or, maybe just the bass drum is wrong. It could be anything as minute as that, which does it in. But once we get in a studio, it doesn't take us a long time to write a song. We can write the song in a day. We can write and finish and demo a song within 2 or 3 days, and we demo it straight onto multi-track, which means that we basically then just re-record over the original tape. We don't do it again. We've always found when we make demos that it's impossible to improve on them. They have such a sound. You put all the echo on and you make them sound like you did them in like Wembley Stadium, and when you actually try and recreate that in an album situation, it never sounds as good. So we cut out the middleman in that respect and demo straight onto master. And then just keep updating the sounds and going in and making the performance better. But I guess the problem we have is the fact that we have the luxury to do it. We don't have people saying, right, we want the album in 3 months or your contract's going to be torn up. Because they know if they did that somebody else would sign us, So we're in a situation that's like, it's very kind of leopard friendly in that respect. And, we do not abuse it, but we take advantage of that situation. And in all honesty, we've always been fans of quality rather than quantity. And if Def Leppard lives and dies having only put out 6, 7, 8 albums, we'd rather do that than put out 21 that could have been 8 brilliant records. We'd rather put the waffle, in the bin and put out the good stuff,